Welcome to this amazing day here at Mansfield, and thank you for joining us. It's so amazing to see so many of you, familiar faces, and a lot of interest for what has been achieved here at Mansfield. So I'm going to give a quick welcome and introductions here, and then we're going to move on to Adam, and then the day will unfold. You will learn a little bit more about it in a few seconds. So here we are. So my name is Adrian Bergerland. I'm a Senior Research Manager at Syria, and I would like to thank our hosts today, so Severn Trent, of course, and Mansfield District Council. So just so you know, we are going to record this event. I'm not sure this morning this short presentation is recorded, but the talks in the afternoon will be. And we want to make sure that we can share those later on, so we can actually use the lessons learned from today and making it available for those who could not attend. There is a Wi-Fi network here. I'm going to let you read what's on the screen if you want to connect. And toilet, on the ground floor over there. There is no planned fire alarm test today. And if it sounds, then we have to go to the staff car park. So yeah, we will all be following through the car park over there, and this is where the meeting point will be. There will be a lot of time to ask questions to the different speakers and about the projects you're going to hear today in the afternoon session. So if you have questions during the site visit you were not able to ask, make note of those, and you will have an opportunity for those in the afternoon. Of course, social media, if you want to share your views as we go along, feel free to do so. There's a few hashtags here on the screen. I see a few more chairs. There is a chair here available if you want to make your way all the way over there. And I think there are a few more chairs on the corner over there as well. So those of you who just arrived, if you want to go over there, that would be great. All right, a little bit about Syria. So we are the Construction Industry Research and Information Association. We are a not-for-profit, member-based organization, and we produce knowledge-based documents to increase the efficiency within the construction industry. This is a snapshot of our membership. We are very proud to have the whole spectrum of the construction industry, but also going all the way to academia, and making the link between the knowledge and the people implementing the solution on the ground. You can see here a few of those names, everything from tier 1 contractors to design engineering firms and universities, etc. We have a series of research ambitions that we try to embed within each and every of our research documents. So embedding sustainability, achieving net zero carbon, increasing resiliency, improving delivery and harnessing innovation. I'm sure you can resonate with most of those, and we try to really put them at the heart of our research program. A few information about our outputs. You are probably familiar with our guidance documents, the iconic SuDS manual here. But we also released the Natural Flood Management manual a couple of years ago, and here on screen I have one about BNG, biodiversity gain, that was released back in 2019. We also offer trainings which are most often based on those guidance documents, and here you can see a lot around SuDS, of course. So we have a series of, I believe, 4 trainings that are dedicated to SuDS. And we are just starting a new one on natural flood management. We offer networking for our members, and there's a lot of things going on throughout the year. If you want to be involved, it's an opportunity to learn about what's happening in the industry, and also to share your views with your peers. We also have a series of committees of practice. The one that gathers all today is susdrain, the Committee for Sustainable Drainage. It's a very vibrant community. This is where the discussions happen on everything from legislation, new technology, etc., etc. And then we also have a series of tools. The one here that is on screen is SyriaBest, is the latest one. even though it exists for quite a number of years. A couple of years ago, we actually released it as an online map-based tool. Now, in terms of the guidance, going back now a few years, this is a series of SuDS-related documents that are available, all the way from SuDS manual, NFM manual, but also a few documents on nutrients. So you have one around phosphate and the other one around nitrogen. We released last year one on blue roof, so how to retain water on rooftops. And there is one that is going to be released hopefully today, if not in the next few days, working with the London authorities around SuDS for highways. And lastly, you have here on the right-hand side a document that was produced when BMG became mandatory in England back in February. And that document is a collaboration with Ayman and Saim, and it's all about how to, what are the different steps and who to talk to for a successful biodiversity gain project. So, sorry, just want to mention as well a couple of ongoing projects. If you're interested in those, please let me know. One of them is around community maintenance and how they can be involved if they want to do so in the maintenance of flood risk management assets. This one will be released in a month, and I will be actually talking about it at Flooding Coast next month. And then the other one is getting SuDS right from the start, which will also be released in a couple of months. It's in the final stages, and this is about considering SuDS at the land acquisition phase or at the master plan level. The tool that I mentioned actually will be discussed a little bit more, or at least mentioned later on today. This is really about comparing a work as usual with implementing blue and green solutions, and this tool gives you a monetary value based on the benefits that you get when you do BGI versus work as usual. A very useful tool. There is a QR code on screen if you want to learn more about it, or if you want to come and talk to me, I'm happy to talk a little bit more about it. All right, susdrain. We are really thrilled to organize this event today because we really want to bring the latest into the world of SuDS and to share it with our membership and beyond. So what has been achieved today, what has been achieved at Mansfield is really something that the community is extremely interested in. So we want to create a knowledge platform. So we have susdrain.org, which is a repository of a lot of different case studies all around SuDS. I invite you to take a look at it if you want, if you're searching for inspiration for the next project. There's everything in there, different type of SuDS, new build, retrofits, etc. It is also a network, so we meet on a regular basis throughout our project steering groups, and it's an opportunity to hear about the latest and greatest on everything sustainable journey through the. We also organize specific events and webinars like the one today. So if you'd like to join the community, please let me know. What we've heard last year at the last SuDS Awards was really about how can we make a change within our community and trying to push the boundaries of SuDS forward and trying to see rainwater as a resource and not as something that we need to get rid of as fast as possible. And this is really a lesson learned that we want to push and to reflect on throughout the day. So implementing SuDS at the scale of what we're going to see today in Mansfield is really about treating the water where it falls, and we want to really push this concept as much as possible. So fast evolving context here at BMG, biodiversity again in England, it's also an opportunity to consider SuDS, and of course moving legislations with some question marks regarding what's going to happen in the next few years, whether it's going to be a strengthened planning system around SuDS, or if it's going to be a Schedule 3 type of rollouts, or that is still in the air, but hopefully we will have more clarity in the coming months. So the goal is to create common language So hopefully this day is trying to do that. All right, this is just a little bit about, if you want to join, please come talk to me. We're in let's say, roughly one third of the cycle. It's a 2-year cycle, and we're about to celebrate the SuDS Champion Awards, which will be in Bristol this year. So if you want to join, come talk to me. All right, a big thank you to our susdrain partners and supporters. Once again, we couldn't do that without your support, so thank you so much for that. Sorry, it's a little bit fast on your screen. Here it is. And a little bit on the program for the day. So this is this morning a very quick introduction on how this is going to work, and then we're going to go outside and actually visit some of the sites, and I'm very much looking forward to this. We're going to have a networking lunch, and then we're going to have a series of presentations here in this room to learn about those, what's everything that went through for this process of implementing SuDS in Mansfield. This is where the interaction begins. This is where you can ask your questions from the speakers and from the people that were in the field showing you and talking about the sets. So bring your questions with you. And we aim to finish around 4 with closing remarks. Hopefully you can stay with us for the whole event. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to Adam Boucher. So he's operation leads for the green recovery, and he's going to do a little bit of a scene setting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adrian. Morning, everybody. Welcome to Mansfield, which is the town I live in. And I'd just like to say first thanks to all the contributors today, especially Mansfield Council and Nottinghamshire County Council for joining us. I am the operations lead for Severn Trent. I led the project from its inception 3 years ago, and hopefully today we're going to give you some insight into the UK's largest sustainable drainage kind of project at this moment in time. I'm sure there's a few of you in the room that will be surpassing this over the next 5 years. And really what we're trying to do is show you the impact of it, the benefits, the critical successes today, and how you deliver retrofitting SuDS at pace. And we're going to take you out. It's going to be a bit like a school trip today, so I hope you're all on your best behaviour. And you need to stay near this when you're walking out there, but we'll talk a little bit about safety in a minute. So I'm going to visit you 4 of the SuDS installations, some partnership opportunity that we've had with Mansfield Council, 2 or 3 sites really that we're taking you today, and they are heavily involved in all 4 sites with regards to what you see today. And then Nottinghamshire County Council as well with regards to how you see the highway interaction and again land. So what I hope for today is this is an opportunity for us to share the learning with the objective really of helping you, the community, that are responsible for developing the national standards further and to deliver the next schemes. So that's what today's about. Hope we hit those expectations for you. So what is the project about? Well, Mansfield was part of our Green Recovery Programme, so about 18 months into the last investment cycle, so obviously 2025, we were invited by the regulator to submit any additional plans that we wanted to do post-pandemic to try and stimulate the economy, and also try anything that we wanted to do in advance of the next investment period, the one that we've just entered now, for the next 5-year cycle. We put in a bid for 6 projects, and we were successful and got £565 million worth of additional funding in addition to our original business case. One of those projects was an idea to create a catchment scale way of managing surface water, and Mansfield was chosen for a number of reasons. Its geography, its geology, its flood risk, storm overflow activation risk, and also the strength of our partnership with MDC and NCC. And our objective, what we've actually provided, is 31 million litres of surface water network equivalent storage out in the district, across many areas from Warsop in the north to Bury Hill in the south. And what I hope that we've created is a blueprint of how we can manage this huge flood risk, and how the interventions that you see today now become part of our toolkit. And you'll see some of the innovation as well that we've brought to the project, in addition to what's already in the SuDS manual, which maybe give some of you an opportunity to think about how to use those maybe in national standards. And what we also get is the opportunity to make Mansfield look a greener, more attractive place for our customers to live. Give an example of them. Now, we're building proper SuDS, not developer SuDS. That's kind of my tagline. So forgive me, I'm not a fan of developer SuDS. So what I mean by proper SuDS is if you look at the cross section in the right, we're bringing the water in from the top, almost capturing it where it lands. We are taking a jigsaw piece puzzle of contributing area out, and we are feeding it from the freeboard layer where the planting sits, through the mulch layer, through the growing medium, through that filter layer, so that by the time we're presenting it to the storage layer, we are presenting completely clean water. Now that gives us an opportunity, because we can either infiltrate that into the ground where possible, and Mansfield does have those opportunities, but if we do have to rely on contaminated ground or being close to properties within building control distance, or we haven't got percolation into the ground, we are putting that back into the sewer. But we are doing that through a control device which is down at minimum 10 millimetres, and that is obviously a big step change from what is in the SuDS manual, and Angus will come on to that a little bit this afternoon. We've got 5 main intervention types that you'll see today. The natural solutions, the detention basin, where we have an opportunity on areas that are already separated, so these are your later developments, sort of 70s, 80s, where building control has separated the system, but unfortunately the Eastern Trunk Sewer in Mansfield is a combined network, as is most of Mansfield, so waste and surface water going into the same system. So these infill developments on the outskirts of the town have then been dropped into that combined sewer, pre-1974 of course, when Severn Trent took over. So the opportunity there is something that you'll see today, and I think this is an opportunity for all of us. We all have these separated areas that, if we can find the right locations, detention basins are the way to go. Nearly all ours infiltrate, so you'll see that today as well. And so they don't have the 10 millimetre orifice on them. All the others do. So the bioswale is again a natural solution, capturing water where it lands, tend to be below 100 cube, and verge rain gardens and street rain gardens are the streetscape elements that we're going to talk about today with Nottinghamshire County Council's help on how we've actually created that process for constructing SuDS in the highway. And then the last one was permeable paving. There was a lot, if you look at our original business case, there was a large amount of permeable paving in the business case, and we've only delivered 10% of that, and there are some technical reasons around that, and we'll come on to some of that today. And when you're out and about, you'll see some good examples and some bad examples of that. So we're here to tell you what's gone badly, or not as well as we thought, as well as the stuff that's gone well, because this is a trial to that as well. Just one real key aspect we need to draw your attention to before we go out there, so I'm sure it's a burning question, is ownership and maintenance. So this is the first time the regulator has allowed a water company to construct SuDS in a way that intercepts others' water, which we are allowed to do within the Water Industry Act, section 114A, if you want to get into it. It's very interesting. And capture that in a capitalised asset that we are owning and operating. In private land, we can do that under that notice, but also within the Water Industry Act, we have the framework bridging agreement to create agreements with other authorities, such as the Highway Authority, to enable us to use their power under the Highway Act. So again, our guests, Nottinghamshire County Council, will talk in detail around that. But it's important. My chief exec stood in front of The Chief Exec here, James, and Deputy Mayor Craig will be today, who have joined us, and give them the commitment that we are going to look after these for life. And I think that is the game changer. So the only thing we cannot capitalise and own is the permeable paving, and the expectation of the regulator is that that goes back into private landowners, if we've done it in non-household areas, which we have, but also the Highway Authority. And again, part of the deal was that Nottinghamshire County Council signed up to that, and Mansfield Council did in their housing stock areas where we put some. The other interventions, we have done a tree pit, one, you see that today, the roots of the tree in the town centre when you go out there, and we had a small amount of rainwater dam pipe plants within the business case as well. So the top 5 are what we're going to concentrate on today. So hopefully that gives you a bit of insight into what we're looking to achieve today and what you're going to see. So now for the fun bit. So we're going to be taking you out on 4 different buses. Hopefully you've all got a band on your wrist. If you haven't, can you put your hand up, and we'll on the way out we'll make sure that you are assigned to the right bus. Please take care where you're out on the trip. It's going to be a bit like 20-30 school kids wandering around, so when you get off the bus and when you get on the bus, just take 20 seconds to look around your environment and just let you just settle into the location you're in. We don't want any slips, trips and falls today. Hopefully you're going to arrive at these interventions and there'll be a hum of insects, so try not to get stung. Yeah, please take care of traffic. There's some crossings, we're in residential areas, we're in shopping areas, and town centre areas. So pedestrians, mobility scooters, cyclists will be whizzing around you, so please take care when you are looking at the intervention, because they're that good, you're going to get sucked into it and concentrating on that, so you need to just keep your peripheral vision going as well, and make sure you're just watching where you're going. Each of the bus routes has a lead that will carry a flag, the flag bearer, in the colour of the bus that you're on. We are in residential areas in some of these, so please just respect the locals. If somebody does approach you with a question, what's going on, then just refer them back to the flag bearer, or there will be other hosts on each of the sites. We will be taking some photos while we're out and about, so if you don't want to appear in any of our social media posts today, I'm sure you've all got permission from your employees to be here, so there shouldn't be anybody not where they should be, but if you would rather not appear in anything, just please let us know. Again, let the flag bearer know. And the hope is that we'll be around the sites. We're going to 4 different sites, so site 1 we'll start at site 1 and the others at 2, 3 and 4, and then we'll go around in the clockwise mode. Okay, so I think that is more or less everything. When we arrive back, you will be, the banqueting suite is across the corridor on the other side for lunch, and I think its entrance is from the outside, so then we will return in here at 1:30. So take care and good luck. Helen, is there anything that I've missed that I should have said? No? Everybody's happy? Good, right. So, if you'd like to go out into the foyer, please take your belongings with you and good luck out there. Enjoy. So, comfort break. If you do need the toilets, please have a try before we go on the bus. That's another school thing. So, literally there across the road. The buses will be departing at 10:15.
It's